Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be reviewing the new Ram RHO. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy for giving me some time with this RHO. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering this is a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town and then 16 on the highway, with power outputs being 540 horsepower and then 521 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, just like the TRX, you've got all of the venting here on the top section, which is really cool. You've got the marker lights here in the hood vent there in the center, and you can see it says Hurricane high output there. And then I love the new headlights. So you got like a fun little turn off animation, and when you unlock the truck, I think that's pretty fun with the overall animation. We've got the fog lights down below, parking sensors here. You can see with recovery points as well. The Ram logo, still hollow by the way. Skid plate protection underneath. Still has a super aggressive front end appearance. We've got 35s wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. And these are a little bit wider than what you see in most trucks. 325 by 65 by 18. So most 35s you'll see will be 315 millimeters, not 325. Anyways, you can see the other marker light there. Big chunky fender flare. You've got the larger fenders just like on the Ram TRX. Venting there behind, and then you've got the Ram logo here, and then notice stuff like the mirror caps, door handles are all body painted. And then here's your side profile, which look at that stance, that's cool. Now, just like the TRX, you've got the Black Hawk shocks. They have been specially tuned for the RHO since this weighs a little bit less than the TRX. And other than that, you've got another marker light there on the back of the rear fender flare. And then this leads us to the key fob, which has RHO there on the back now. We've got the tailgate drop down, lock and unlock, all the normal truck stuff. Now, no bed liner with this, but you can always add that in after the fact. We've got LED lights here in the bed and solid storage space. Overall, this one has a tonneau cover, soft fold from the factory. And then this is automatic with the raise function. I didn't raise it up enough, there you go. So it'll automatically pop back up. You got the RHO badge there on the back. Dual outlet exhaust tips. See what the exhaust sounds like later. But there's the rest of the rear. And popping inside, really nice interior. I mean, this is basically identical to the TRX. You can see with like the Alcantara and the carbon fiber and all that. Still have tons of storage. We still get the little ice coolers here in the back. And then you got the fancy leather seats that are like a Ram Limited. Getting in, you got to step up a bit. Not the worst. Legroom back here, pretty solid. Got a little storage pocket. It's a carbon fiber trim there. Heated and ventilated seats, USB ports. Got a full outlet as well. And then headroom back here is solid. And then this leads us up front, where again, lots of nice trim throughout. See Harman Kardon sound system. Now we do have massaging seats with the RHO. Front two windows, automatic. The mirrors power fold in. They also have blind spot monitoring. Now, if you're running capacities, 1372 for the payload, so I think that's more than the TRX if I remember right, a little bit more at least. RHO, perforated all down the center. You've got your power adjustments there. Light controls right here, pedal adjustment, and then they give you fancy pedals right out of the gate. Taking a look at the steering wheel, you've got the perforated trim on either side, paddle shifters there on the back with radio controls underneath them. Got this cool carbon fiber trim there at the bottom. We have adaptive cruise control with lane centering now, so a bit more advanced than what you had in the TRX, at least I'm pretty sure. Anyways, got controls there for the center, and then you can see the little turn signal windshield wiper stock. Now here is the center gauge cluster. We can use this to see different bits of vehicle information, and we've got all of the different gauge views. So you've got the Baja view, you've got the Sport view, digital, and then you have the analog view that you can switch between. And this is where the drive modes will also pop up. It doesn't have a crazy animation with the drive modes, but I think it's just pretty user-friendly. They make things simplistic, just showing you what each mode is. And then, well, I guess they got that part of it. It's a tiny animation. Now this leads us to the heads-up display, which is pretty cool. And then we've got this nice trim all across the dash. You can see again with the suede there, Harman Kardon sound system. And then yes, we have the passenger screen, but you do have a regular glove box below that and the nice trim above all of it. 360 camera system. And yeah, really good resolution with it. Still smaller camera view because it's on the vertical screen. But yeah, this is kind of new. So you still have the climate controls, still have the radio controls on either side. But you notice that auxiliary buttons there at the bottom, and then stuff like the parking sensors, and then part of the trailer brake controls now built into the screen. But you still have the shortcut bar there at the bottom. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel on top of that. And again, massaging seats too, so you just press that and then I'll go over the massaging side. Now you've got the cool RHO drive mode select that'll pop up here on the screen. Shows you all the different things that you can adjust with the drive modes. And I like that they actually have a difference here with Sport, Street, and Rock with stability and with steering. That's nice because a lot of my off-road driving with the TRX wasn't necessarily high-speed Baja driving. Some of it was slower speed crawling. Anyways, still have a full-time four-wheel drive system with four-wheel low and an axle lock. We still have launch control, still have what I call off-road cruise control, and then you've got your auto stop-start. Bunch of USB ports here. We also have our wireless phone charging pad, shifter built into the center console area for the 8-speed automatic. We got some cup holders. RHO here on the top of the center console, and Rhino is now the design piece for the RHO instead of a TRX like with the Ram TRX. Anyways, or I should say T-Rex. We just got some more storage there. It's pretty big. Not too bad. Solid. We've got a camera rear view mirror with this as well. Press that. That's for the power sliding rear window. And then we've got a big panoramic sunroof up top. So here's our window sticker for this RHO. Base MSRP is 70 grand, which if you guys remember when the TRX was first released, this was the same base MSRP as the TRX back in 2021. But anyways, we got quite a few options, including the level 1 equipment package, and then the tonneau cover, and then the sunroof. After all options, $84,520 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off in the RHO. Visibility, by the way, I think it's pretty darn good. And just gotta make sure we don't hit that TRX. So, let's see how this is. I owned a Ram TRX for 2 years. Loved the truck. So one vehicle that my wife says that she is the most sad about, I mean, she's sad about her, it's funny. All the vehicles that my wife is sad about us no longer having are Stellantis vehicles. So she's sad we don't have the Wrangler 392 anymore, and she's sad we don't have the TRX. She doesn't miss any of the Raptors. She doesn't, anything Ford, she doesn't care about. So funny. Smooth. So the powertrain's smooth. It feels, this is a weird experience. So if you don't know, Bilstein shocks are really, really durable, but they're firmer. What you kind of feel with Fox shocks is it just erases everything. With Bilstein shocks, you still kind of feel a little bit in the road, but big compression and these things can more than handle it. I'm just gonna pop this straight into sport mode. We're not playing around, folks. But yeah, what I will say is very comfortable truck overall. Still has that luxury truck feel, and it is a big truck. Doesn't drive, it feels kind of lighter weight like a EcoBoost Raptor. That's pretty fun. This new high output Hurricane is a fun powertrain because it's very peaky. It's got decent low end torque, but what you really want to do this powertrain, and this is not for durability reasons, but this is for fun reasons, is rev it out, because at the top of the power band is where it really starts to pull hard, and that's where you get the excitement out of it. You know, in something like an EcoBoost Raptor, it kind of tapers off and dies at the top. This seems like it just keeps pulling. I like the drive so far. It doesn't feel again, it is more lightweight than a T-Rex. Feels a little bit more lightweight than a T-Rex, but it's a similar kind of like wide body experience to the Ram T-Rex, where you're big, you don't really fit down the road very well. But you know, okay, we're gonna take this. But it's not difficult to drive. Handles well. They retuned the Blackhawk shocks and everything for this truck. So it drives, I would say it drives very sporty for how big this beast is. Yeah, look at that. Just rips to the red line. It is so fun. Doesn't have that same insane punch of the T-Rex, but it's got a pretty aggressive pull overall. So getting into some of the things up here with the RHO, still looks great on the exterior. I prefer Ram styling over Fords personally. So really nice exterior, lots of luxury features inside. And my guess as to why some of this stuff is synthetic up top is just durability. Leather, you know, can kind of wrinkle and stuff over time and pull away. And so using this synthetic stuff, it's just going to be more durable over the long term. Which, you know, it's an expensive vehicle, so you're going to want it to last. But yeah, I mean, I would say if you just look at this in a vacuum, and if you look at it compared to the Raptor, I mean, it's quicker than an EcoBoost Raptor. It sounds pretty good for a 6-cylinder, and it's really fun to drive. I think that's the nicest thing about this, is it's just fun to drive. It's kind of like this, it's not a lightweight vehicle, but it's very sporty driving. So it's kind of like this tossable, fun sports truck that you just kind of, look at that. Not taking that super fast, but for a big 6,000 pound truck, it can handle.